Vivian was a $100 streetwalker, but walked into a luxury boutique as if she owned it. The clerk immediately recognized her and sneered, but Vivian remained unaware. She pointed to the most expensive item in the store. She asked about the price, not caring about the clerk's opinion. The clerk dismissed her, saying the item was too expensive. Vivian insisted she had money to spend. The clerk told her to leave, saying the store wasn't for people like her. She left, embarrassed but not defeated. The next day, Vivian returned transformed. Gone were the cheap clothes, replaced by an aura of confidence. Her presence stunned everyone in the store. The same clerk didn't recognize her at first. He greeted her with a smile, but Vivian was back to settle the score. She reminded him of yesterday's refusal, and made him realize his mistake. The clerk, full of regret, realized who she truly was. Her transformation began with an unexpected encounter. Vivian had once been a small-town girl with big dreams, but poor decisions had led her astray. When she couldn't pay rent, she turned to street work. With no other choice, she dressed up and hesitated. Just as she stood there, a luxury car pulled up. Her friend urged her to seize the opportunity. Vivian walked forward, trying to be bold. She even removed her red coat to look more appealing. She approached the man and offered directions in exchange for money. The man was taken aback but agreed. Vivian joked that the rest of the money was for company. He didn't object. As they drove, Vivian noticed his poor driving skills. The car jerked and swerved, making her stomach turn. She bluntly asked if the car was rented. The man laughed and let her drive the car. She was thrilled. It was her first time in a luxury car. As they drove, Vivian talked about cars she'd seen on TV. The man found her interesting and asked about her service fees. Without hesitation, she quoted $100 per hour. He asked if that was too much, but she didn't back down. What she didn't know was that the man was a billionaire, a businessman with companies all over the world. He'd come to LA to escape work for a bit, and their chance meeting would change both their lives. After dropping him off, Vivian waited for the bus. But the man noticed her and offered her the same price for the night. Vivian agreed, grateful for the opportunity. To avoid unwanted attention, he lent her his coat. At the hotel, she was stunned by the luxury. People stared, and Vivian felt out of place. But Edward, unfazed, ignored the looks. He was the hotel's most valuable guest. At the elevator, a rich woman shot a disgusted glance. Vivian didn't hold back. She flashed her legs to tease her. Edward didn't flinch, understanding the game. He led her to the top-floor presidential suite. Vivian was awestruck by the lavish surroundings. She thought it was all for show, but Edward's behavior suggested otherwise. He was generous, offering her comfort. Vivian drank the champagne quickly, feeling at ease. Edward treated her like a queen, offering strawberries. Vivian felt like the boss, and Edward was her assistant. He never judged her, instead making her feel at home. When she was ready to get down to business, Edward asked if she'd spend the whole night for $300. Vivian initially agreed, but later regretted asking for so little. They spent the night in the suite, but Edward worked, not touching her. Vivian eventually fell asleep, exhausted. The next morning, she realized nothing had happened. She offered to refund part of the payment, but he refused. Edward, seeing her confusion, offered a lavish breakfast. He even ordered everything on the menu, unsure of what she'd like. Vivian was stunned. This man was far richer than she had imagined. She realized she'd underestimated him, thinking he was just another rich guy. Edward explained he was in the business of buying struggling companies. Vivian's jaw dropped when he casually mentioned buying a billion-dollar company. She could hardly believe it. This quiet man was wealthier than she ever expected. She felt like she was living a dream. After breakfast, Edward suited up and prepared for his next meeting. His assistant called, asking him to bring a woman to dinner. Edward immediately thought of Vivian, who was in the shower. As she sang freely, he decided she'd be his date. He offered to pay her for the week, giving her an option. Vivian was skeptical but agreed to the deal. As they spent time together, Vivian realized Edward wasn't like the men she'd met. He wasn't just paying for her presence, he genuinely enjoyed her company. Over time, a bond started to form. Neither of them realized it yet, but love had begun to grow between them.